Thank God for your being. Be healthy and blessed. The talk is the answer to a question that was rising inside me on past days. I'm always amazed observing this firm connection among seeing separate beings. God bless. And how is it there in Iran? Like, is it, I know you're a doctor in Iran, and the cases are unconfirmed, and people weren't abiding, I heard, by lockdown, or maybe they are. In Germany, it's very respectful, and my life changes very little because I realize now I always was and always am on what everyone else calls isolation or self-isolation. It's no different. The only difference is that when I go for a walk, I'm trying my best to just stay a little bit further away from people. But that's it. I'm not even trying that much. It's just for older people I try a little. And I see them, but not even that much. That's it. But yeah, Lisa, considering the pandemic. Yeah, I'm trying to put an A in there. Sorry. Thank you for getting that. I'm dyslexic, and dyslexics do very well with phonetic spelling. So pandemic. Considering the pandemic, what effect does prayer have? Do you pray? I don't pray, but I think it's important to recognize what it is you want and to bring that into consciousness. And you can't really change your wants in the moment like this. Like sometimes if you're in just a bad mood or in a negative state, then you can move it to the positive. But we have these ingrained thoughts and you have to be honest to it. And if I'm honest, like when I think about this want of society and this pandemic, like for me personally, like I don't want people to suffer. I want people to be free and happy. But there is a part of me that I also realize that I do want humanity to wake up. Like people treat each other so badly and they're so cruel and mean to each other, and not all the time, and to themselves, and to the environment, and to animals. And that part I would like to wake up. And so there is this part, because I studied all of this stuff a lot with Indian teachers, where they've talked about pandemic, I want to go pandemic appearing, and there being a shift in consciousness. And I have to be honest, there is a desire in for me for mass shift in consciousness. I mean, I do these talks. I mean, I have for 7 or 8 years, I did these talks twice a week for free. There's obviously this inclination in my body. So it's not like I do or don't want the coronavirus. Like I don't want people to suffer, but I do want there to be a shift in humanity. And when it comes to the coronavirus, like that's the feeling that comes up in me, is that this is the possibility for humans to have a mass shift in consciousness if they're open for it. And there's so many beautiful things in society too. I don't mean to only paint the negative, but there's a lot of suffering and there's a lot of unfairness. And I would love that to change. There's also really beautiful things, like in the local town here, people are set up a Facebook page and going out shopping for older people or people that are vulnerable. And yeah, there's really lovely things happening. And I feel this camaraderie, this sense of being comrade, I can't say it. Yeah, that's gone, that word. And I know if I use my computer to say the words, then it sometimes switches off my microphone, so I can't do it. That's my answer in everyday life, is I get my computer to speak it. Yeah, so that's my feeling. So I'm not praying for this to stay or to go. I'm praying for and it's not praying, it's like, it's my natural wants in my body. So that to me is what we most probably define as prayer. It's my natural want of the body, and my prayer or my natural want is that I don't want people to suffer. I want people to be free, but I also want there to be a shift in consciousness. And I'm open for this being that. But I'm also open for it going back to the way it always was as well. I don't know what's going to happen. So, yeah. So, and I do believe you can recondition your wants, but that takes a period of time. Yes, an awakening pandemic. Let it come. Hi, Simon. Unfortunately, there is no serious quarantine here in Iran. Most people pay enough attention to the situation, and the minority have no care. The numbers stated by the government are completely irrational, and as far as I know, the numbers are 2 or 3 times the standard amount. I also enjoy this isolation, but I can feel the urge inside my extroverted friends who are spending a difficult time these days. And you're not called in to be a doctor, like to help. I know you're not fully qualified, but I thought that was happening. Beautiful thoughts, Lisa. Yes, it seems obvious to be part of a greater shift in consciousness. A lotus flower blooms in the rough conditions. Lots of people will turn inward and be conditioned to accept a slower pace, to smell the roses and listen to the birds chirping. It's all part of the play, and it's beautiful no matter how it pans out. Nice, thanks, Thomas. Gail, I feel like not much has changed for me either. I'm an artist, unknown income. I'm in a lot of solitude. The only things changed are the social distance and the empty grocery shelves, and to getting my daily Tim Hortons coffee. Nice, Gail. Yeah, we didn't have that so much here, the sold out shops. It was sold out of toilet paper and cleaning products, but I think they've got some back in now. Hi Lisa, I have a strong tension on my neck and head, also a little bit on the entire body. Do you think it's possible that the cause is the energetic shifts or others' profound realizations? Thank you. It begins some months later, the shift in consciousness, and it increases with time. Do you have some advice? I try all. Thank you. It's most probably a releasing from that energetic shift, so your body begins to relax more and more, become more and more in balance, and in that it has to let go of old ways of being and old tensions. So my advice is very simple, it's just giving it attention, just spending time with it. Just laying on your back. When I used to have a sore neck. When I was younger, I had lots of sore neck and neck problems, and it was mostly to do with that I didn't speak out and I didn't say what it was that I wanted. It was also to do with my meditation pose, so I can see its position, like I can see it's like lots of things, but part of it was about speaking out. But when I did have it, I used to lay on my back on the floor with a book under my head, just a small book, and this helped it a lot. But it was a lot about not speaking out and not saying what I want and what I don't want, which is super important on the human level. Not knowing what I want, not being truthful. I wasn't a liar like that, but I wasn't truthful to what I was feeling. I was trying to be something, and I wasn't even conscious of that. Michael, why does the eye fall away for a few hours and then come back? It's switching from the me to this wonderful freedom and loves many times a day. That's so frustrating. I wouldn't focus on it. Just move your attention away from that. It's just a story that's taking up your attention. Just see it's just a story. It comes and goes. Hi Monique, do you have a suggestion how I can change the connotation I have with a word? I would like to change the feeling I get with the word relationship. Now I feel fear because relationship to me now means a chance to hurt or to be hurt. I like to change the meaning to passion, love, attraction, ease, sharing, beauty and caring flow. How do I change automatic thoughts and feelings that come up with a word? Thanks. I feel it the most in my throat and belly, on my chest and lower back. Yes, it's just practice. So say if you think the word relationship and your whole throat tightens up, you first of all have to acknowledge the unconscious thought that's appearing when you think relationship. So the unconscious thought might be, it won't work. It never works out for me. It never works out for me. It never works out for me. And you just need to give that some space. So really feel that thought and then start saying the opposite. It will work out for me. It will work out for me. It will work out for me. And this is the way you begin to recondition your chakras. It doesn't mean that you have to be in the positive all the time. It's just a way of pulling you out of the negative. Maria says you're making total sense. Oh, nice. So I think I call it a night for tonight. Because I don't feel too well. I haven't got the coronavirus, I don't think, but I can just feel that my body's not too well. I have the feeling it's hay fever. Yeah. I send you lots of love and I wish you well everywhere. Thank you. Goodbye.